Yes, people, and welcome back to another edition of Rivals right here in the Spurs King show. Like, we're going to go straight into it. I've got a guest, and he goes by the name of Deji. How you doing, my broski?
Yeah, bro, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, especially with a fellow Spurs fan. And things are looking good for our club, so it's going to be a lively discussion. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice, man. What were your thoughts real quickly just on that Spurs-Brighton occasion?
Yeah, bro, look, at the end of the day, a mark of the, Postecoglou talked about we keep going. And one thing that we can see from our team is that there's a never say die attitude. And we it's not over until the fat lady sings, as they say. And I can see that with our team. I thought it was a brilliant performance, especially the way that Brighton brushed us aside at their ground, at the Amex. We needed to get the 3 points. And the fact that we were able to kind of pull through and bring on Son, bring on Basuma, bring on Brennan Johnson. I mean, these are quality players that we're able to bring on. It's just so optimistic, and I'm looking forward to the running. My thing is, if we can keep these players fit, I think we could get really excited. I'm not saying that we're going to win the league, man, but at least we could finish above the scum. And that's all I'm looking for this season. If we can finish above the scum, I think Postecoglou's overachieved, and he should be manager of the year, in my opinion.
Talking of the scum, we've got... Oh, what's going on there? I didn't even see you, bro. Hey, we got Stefan.
What's up, guys? Thanks for the invite. Thanks. Glad to be here. Listening to some very interesting takes, but that's the point of being a debate show. So yeah, it's all good, man. It's all
cool.
Good. Nice.
We've got also Toon Tactics here, man. Big yourself up. How you doing, my bro? Can you hear me? Toon Tactics? All right, cool. Yomes is here. What's going on, Yomes? You good?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. How you doing?
Yeah, man. Not bad, man. Not bad. Obviously, you're representing Manchester United. They're no stranger to the show. Now goals ready.
Yeah, you already know. Also repping Nige today, though.
Hey, Ashmatic.
Unfortunate that we couldn't get the W, but it was one of them ones.
we were never going to get the W with that dusty Conte football. To be honest,
It was the most defensive thing I've ever seen in my life. It was an actual bust.
Wait, who's your coach? Who was Nigeria's coach? Was it some Serbian guy?
like a Portuguese guy.
Portuguese.
Yeah, he's from the Mourinho school as well. He actually went to school with Mourinho.
I can't believe you can play defensive with the attackers that Nigeria has. I just don't get it. I really don't.
Get it.
It's not the Nigerian way. It's just not the Nigerian way either. It's like it was like almost like watching. Not that I'm comparing Nigeria to Brazil in any way, but it's almost like watching Brazil with a back five and two holding midfield.
No, you know which country is the equivalent? I would say Portugal. You look at Portugal's attacking talent and their coach, and the way they play football is just so bad. Like they could play so much more. And England is another example.
Yeah, 100.
England is another example. Like I thought that the game against Ivory Coast, yes, would I have played a bit more defensive because they're the home team, you know, everybody, but not that defensive. I thought Ivory Coast in the end deserved to win the game, sadly.
Yeah, and look, the story of their African Nations Cup from
It's crazy.
It's crazy. They just deserve it. It's got to be a movie someday. Do you get what I'm saying? So
that definitely they have to do like a ESPN 30 for 30 or a Netflix special because they fired their coach in the group stages.
That was mad.
We're on the cusp of elimination, then somehow qualified, then they managed to win the whole thing. So
yeah, penalties and last minute goals. Like if you want drama, like penalties and last minute goals got them through. So
more drama than a Bollywood film, man. I want to big up to the people in the chat. Big up Adrian Soccer says good evening all. Also got Daniel says big up, one love. Come on, you Spurs. We've got Bobby K in the building. Bobby K there saying big up, gents. Everyone in the chat, come on, you Spurs. And also we've also got Ishan Ross. Hello, brother. Greetings. Also in the chat, man, say you're supporting. Let me know if you're non-Spurs. I want to see who you guys are as well. Ivory Coast is mad, bro. I can imagine scenes right now. But let's get back into it. We're here for a reason. I was going to talk about Osimhen because I know Stefan was a big fan, but I'm going to skip past that for now. And I really want to get into Arsenal because Arsenal literally just won 6-0. They smashed up West Ham. And now the question is, can they do it? Can they go a step further than last season? And are Arsenal going to win the league? I just want to know from your point of view, Stefan, can you not do it?
If from a pure analytical standpoint, if you're reading the actual stats, yes. I mean, in terms of defensively, there's no better team in the league in terms of, you know, just everything. Chances conceded, you know, shots conceded. So defensively, Arsenal is really, really good. The problem that we had at the start of the season was creatively, we weren't doing as much. We weren't creating as much chances, scoring goals. So yeah, I would say yes. We have played City this season twice. We have at the Emirates. I thought we outplayed them and completely nullified them, which was rare. So and we managed to beat them. In the end, it was a bit lucky, but we've done it. In the Community Shield, I thought we outplayed City. We've played Liverpool 3 times at Anfield. They couldn't beat us. A draw was a fair result. We destroyed them in the FA Cup. I don't know how we lost that game. The result was the result that should have been the 3-1 in the Premier League that we beat them and was the deserved 3-1 should have been a similar, if not an even more emphatic result in the FA Cup based on the way we actually played. We just couldn't finish. So we've played our 2 biggest rivals and pretty much, I would say, either matched them or completely outplayed them.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So would you say Arsenal, just to stay with you, are Arsenal better than they were last season? Because obviously you started slow, but now you're starting to speeding up a little bit. What's your thoughts on
in my opinion, the way we're playing is more sustainable for a title challenge compared to last season. If you look at the amount of games so at the same point this season, we have scored, I think it was 54 goals and 22 goals we've conceded. Last season, which everybody raves about and says that we've been much better, compared to we've gone down. Last season we've scored 52 goals or 50. We've scored 1 goal less and we've conceded 1 goal more. If you compare, so this season our stats are better. I just think defensively we look so much better, Ash. We're much more. We control the games much more. Like, some of the goals we've conceded, for example, like we conceded from not against Nottingham Forest from only, I think, 2 shots on target. We've conceded 1. We conceded against Liverpool when they had 0 shots on target in the first half. Like, I think the West Ham game kind of balanced itself out of how unlucky we have been in some of the performances that we've done. Like the West Ham loss at home, that game should have been 3-4-0 to Arsenal. They scored 2 goals from, I think, 3 shots the whole game. So I just think I'm happy because I can see the team peaking now, and it's better to peak now and to go on a really good run towards the end of the season than what we did last year, which was we peaked from, I would say, from October to like before the World Cup. So for me, I'm excited, and not only that, we're doing that without Gabriel Jesus, without Thomas Partey, who's arguably our best player and one of the best players, one of the best midfielders in the league. Yuri and Timber, who in my opinion would have played far more than Zinchenko or even Ben White.
I hear it. We're gonna get back into it. I know we've had a few players missing out. You're doing well at the moment. You're pegging teams, but I'm just gonna get the overall view of the whole panel as well. So I'm gonna come to Deji next, and I'm gonna ask that same question: Can Arsenal do one better, knowing that City obviously are the reigning champions, and Arsenal still have to go? Correct me if I'm wrong. They have to go to the Etihad Stadium, and they've got to do the double on them and disrupt their title charge. Can Arsenal do it? No. Even though, obviously, I just put some context in. It was over. Obviously, their last 4 games have been good, but before that, they were in a bit of a rut. That they slipped up.
Let me just put this out there. Look, I don't normally apologize for what I have to say about Arsenal. So I'm not going to start now. But Stefan, I really like you and I don't want us to fall out. The answer is a big, fat, dusty no. And let me tell you why Arsenal ain't winning no league and they're not better. What? Almost. It is. Arsenal last season, I said it was a freak season for them. You got to understand that a lot of the big teams weren't playing well. Chelsea, United, Liverpool in particular. This year, there's a little bit of a kind of normal service has been resumed. Liverpool is back in the equation and they're currently top of the league. That's the first thing. Secondly, Stefan talks about injuries. Partey, he's been doing what he normally does. He plays a handful of games and that's about it. Jesus, let's not talk about Jesus because he's not a prolific goal scorer. And Timber,
better than Nketiah.
Timber is an unknown. He's an unknown quantity. He looked great pre-season, but let's be real. We can't comment yay or nay. So Arsenal have been fortunate that they've not really suffered any injuries or suspensions. Their centre-back pairing, Gabriel and Saliba, have been there all season. Once one of those dusty guys leave, let's see if you can maintain your so-called strong defense. I don't think so.
So-called strong defense?
When Saliba got injured, you guys started falling down like a chimney. Do you get what I'm saying? So
I had Rob Holding.
See the same thing. You don't have a striker. Let's be real. So last season, you were top of the league, and you went in January. You went into the transfer market and you brought in the likes of Kivior and Jorginho, and we all agreed, including Spurs fans, that was a pretty dusty window. How can Arsenal go, who are supposedly challenging for the league, they've not brought in a single player, and we all know they need to bring in a striker. I mean, Richarlison is showing your guys Jesus.
No, Richarlison's world class.
I want to wrap this up real quick. We had more ball possession than you at your ground. Tottenham's first 11 is stronger than Arsenal's first 11. That's a fact. You know that. Stefan, there's
why are you 5 points behind us?
Your head in your hands. Tottenham's first 11 is as good as Man City. It's as good as Liverpool. When we have our
why are you fourth?
The reason why we're fourth, Stefan, and don't be disingenuous, how many games did we not have our centre-back pairing? How many games?
And okay,
At least
great.
half the
So
season.
injuries.
Right?
So injuries
At least half
matter
the
with
season.
Spurs.
If you were
Injuries don't
playing
matter with Arsenal.
Zinchenko and Punch, by the way, is Ben White. If you were playing them two brothers, centre back, do you think you would be where you are in the league?
In
Just be
terms of
honest.
what do you wait? First of all, it's not my fault that Romero's a
No,
moron
I'm not
and
saying it's
gets either
anyone's fault. I'm
suspended.
just saying
No.
that's what it was.
Okay, because I hear this from Spurs fans all the time, which is now you have the best goalkeeper in the league.
We do.
Okay, this is the new trend now.
Yeah.
You have the so-called best informed right back in the league.
Yeah, we do.
You have a center back that's better than Saliba. At the start of the season, after 4 fucking good games, Basuma's better than Partey and Declan Rice. Yeah, that went down the.
Basuma is better than Basmati.
Okay, wait. You have all these great players that are so good, yet every single season you win fuck all, and last season you finished 8th with these.
Why did we finish 8th, Stefan? Why did we finish 8th?
I'm guessing it was.
No, just be real. Why did Tottenham finish 8th?
Why did you finish 8th?
Yeah.
Because your players underperformed.
Don't do
because
that.
your coach ditched you in the middle of the season.
Thank you.
I mean, of course, Conte.
Because Conte was dusty. Because these are the
but
same
I thought
players.
He was your hero. A year ago, he was Antonio.
Let me do this now. Let me do this now. Despite Tottenham having all of the crap that you know about, most of our team, most of our players have not been about. Also, Postecoglou hasn't even done a season at Spurs. We find ourselves 5 points behind your beloved club under Arteta, who's been people are waxing lyrical, shaking their bum violently for him. He's been at the club 5 years. That's what he should be doing.
And
but
he's won more than your club in 30. He's won more.
Let me tell you this now.
If Tottenham,
if we had not had the injuries, if we didn't lose Maddison, if we didn't lose
you would have won the league.
If we didn't lose Van de Ven, if we didn't lose Son, if we didn't lose Pape Sarr, we'd be above you in the league, bruv.
No. That's, I mean, you know what? If you bring back David Gino and Gareth Bale and Luka Modric, you would have won the league, man. No. If I had this argument, if Arsenal had Thomas Partey, that game that you brought up, the Spurs Arsenal game where you said you had more possession,
we did.
In that game, we had no Declan Rice or Thomas Partey.
And doing what you do, Stefan, you'd be like, is it my fault that you didn't have Basmati? Is it my fault you went with Tilda Longrain? It's not my fault. But anyway, just setting this aside, because I don't like going back. I like to move forward. I can't wait till you come to the Tottenham Stadium. I hope you don't have any injuries. When I was telling Arsenal fans who is better between Richarlison and Jesus, Arsenal fans laughed in my face. Look who's laughing now. There is
You really think Arsenal or any other opposition fans want Richarlison in their fucking team? Are you serious? This is why Spurs win nothing. This is why Spurs win because you have a player that has a good 7 to 8 game run where he pretty much scores tap-ins. But if you watch the overall performance of the game, he's crap. He keeps passing the ball out of play.
What is he there to do, though? What is he there to do?
What do you mean? What is he there to do?
He's there to score goals. Why did you bring in Jesus to play on the wing, or you brought him to score goals?
Jesus.
You brought him to score. Did you bring him to play on the wing or score goals?
Jesus, first of all, this season has been injured for 2/3 of the actual season. He hasn't played. I would say he hasn't even played 3 or 4 games in a row. Okay. Richarlison has managed to score goals. Look at the game. Look at the teams he has scored goals against.
I don't want to hug up. I need to bring the other guys in. Let me not hug up. If Jesus had a whole season uninjured, do you honestly believe that he would score 10 Premier League goals?
He scored 14 as a winger.
I'm asking you, do you think he would score 10 Premier League goals at Arsenal if he's not injured?
Yes, he scored 14 goals last season.
In the Prem?
Yes. He scored 13 at Man City playing as a winger. Like, what do you like?
Can I just jump in?
Go for it.
This is so interesting to watch. I've not watched Spurs v Arsenal fan back and forth for a long time. But somebody in the chat said Arsenal ain't finna win shit Wenger out, and that killed me, number one. But can Arsenal win the league? Arsenal win the league if City decide to not be City. I just think City have more goals in them. Arsenal have the better defensive record, and yes, you can win a league on a great defense. We've seen them put 6 past West Ham, but I just think when it comes to, Fergie used to call it squeaky bum time. When it comes to squeaky bum time, you've got teams trying to hold their line so they don't get relegated. You've got teams like really parking the bus. I think that's where your goal scorers and your creative players really, really come in. And I just think that City have that additional gear that Arsenal don't. And I think Liverpool also have it. Apart from Liverpool's defense, you don't know which defense is going to turn up. But as to whether or not injuries do matter, so in a sense, I think both arguments are right in that. Who knows where Spurs would have been without those defensive injuries that you suffered for quite some time. If Arsenal get that, we saw last year Arsenal got that one injury and it was the end of the world. Like the world crumbled. Do you get what I'm saying? That because injuries matter.
No, but
Do you see what I mean?
it depends. It depends on the injury. If Man City get Rodri out for the rest of the season, they're screwed. They don't have a replacement for Rodri. We got the only player that was injured for us in Saliba. There was no other player that could come in. Holding can't even get on the bench at Crystal Palace. That is the level from where we went from Saliba to Holding. He can shake his head all he wants.
Yeah, but you're literally arguing the same. You're literally arguing the same point, because the Spurs point is when they lost their defensive pairing, look who they were playing in at centre back, and you're saying when you lost
but they're still conceding
Saliba,
goals.
when you lost Saliba, the fall off was too big. That's literally the same. That's literally the same argument that you're making.
Let me make a counter argument. For the last 4 or 5 games, Spurs have had their best players back. The best players in the Premier League, of course. They have their defense has looked just as shady as it was with their crap with the Emerson Royales and with the Ben Davises. They have conceded at least 1 goal every single game and have conceded chances every single game. In every single game that they have played, there are moments in every game where you could have said, like the Everton game where it finished 2-2. Everton's XG was 2.8. Theirs was 0.8. They conceded more shots than Everton. Bournemouth, where they won 3-1, Bournemouth had 24 shots.
Yeah,
Everton at home.
Without a shadow of a doubt, the playing style that Spurs have is going to allow them to. It's going to result in them conceding more chances, right? But we also have to remember, like, and I'm a United fan. I've not got a dog in this race, right? But you also have to look at the fact that their best player, who for me is one of the most underrated players in the last 10 years in the Premier League, Son, was at the Asia Cup, right? When Arsenal played Liverpool and beat Liverpool, great performance, 2 ridiculous defensive errors by Liverpool, but Liverpool also had players out and also had a one Mo Salah at the African Nations Cup.
Did we have no players out? Why are the injuries only related to Liverpool and Spurs?
I'm not saying you don't have any. I'm not saying that that it doesn't matter that Arsenal had players out or that you didn't have any players out. What I'm saying is you're essentially arguing the same thing, that the drop off when you lose your first team players is a big drop off, right? So if you're looking at where the teams are now, that is quite literally because of the drop off that Spurs have had. That's the argument. So you're literally making the same argument. You're saying
look, the final thing because if you look at the underlying stats, the way they play is unsustainable. They will get found out. If you concede 20 shots to Bournemouth at home, if you concede 18 shots to Everton, and if you lose on XG on pretty much almost every single game that you have played, literally almost every in the last 6 games, They have lost. They have conceded more shots. Look at their away games. They haven't won an away game in almost 2 months. And you're coming here and telling me they're better than
I'll just
Arsenal?
make this final point. Sorry to cut you, Stefan. Look, football is not about XG.
Of course it's not. When it doesn't suit you.
No, but football is about results. And the truth of the matter is, we fight, despite all the calamity, despite all the golfing class between the two clubs, you're only 5 points ahead of Spurs. And you've pretty much had your full team this season. And we know
we haven't. Stop with this delusion.
Bruv, Partey, nobody gives a damn about Partey.
Yes.
Timber, we don't know. And Jesus is
the best
rubbish.
midfielder last year.
Three
Is
players.
Partey injured? Is Partey injured?
Yeah.
Or is he bad?
Okay.
Okay.
What I will say is this, though. What I will say, pound for pound, Tottenham's strongest 11 can go toe-to-toe with City and Liverpool. Because our subpar team went to the Etihad and got a 3-3 draw at the Etihad.
And got
when we were playing
lucky.
Emerson Royale and Ben Davis. I would like to see Arsenal play Zinchenko and Ben White as centre-back, go to the Etihad and get a result. If you can do that, then you
get a result. You got extremely lucky, man. We both know you got so lucky in that game.
So I hold on, Stefan. So how many times have you beaten City recently?
We beat them once.
Not us, Stefan. I mean Spurs.
We beat them
because
twice.
why are you allowed to base everything you want to judge Spurs on one City game, and we're not allowed to base everything we judge Arsenal on one Liverpool
because
game?
Not you,
Steph. Not you, Steph. I'm asking Deji.
Say
Deji.
that again, bro. Say that again.
Why are you allowed to base how you rate Tottenham on one City game for everything, and he's not allowed to base Arsenal on one Liverpool game?
No, I didn't say he couldn't base Arsenal.
You did. You just said about the second line and you winning at the Etihad.
They
drew. Let's remind that they drew.
But the point I've been trying to make, my bro, is that he came on here before you joined, and I'm not sure if you heard. And he wanted to do. Unfortunately, Stefan is a statistician. He does maths. So he was breaking down the numbers that how Arsenal got the best defense, and I was saying to him, you've had the best.
Is that not factual though?
It's a fact, but no one's been missing. Tottenham haven't got the best.
That's not true.
No, Tottenham have had their best.
Forget. Sorry to cut you. Forget Tottenham. You just said we've had. No, sorry, Steph. Hold on, Steph. You just said we've had no one missing. That's not a fact.
No,
it's not.
You haven't had Gabriel or Saliba missing.
So that's two particular players, but we've had players
in your back line.
Okay, but
we've had Zinchenko missing, we have Tomiyasu missing, we've had Timber missing.
Is dusty, bro. Let's just
but I hear what you're saying. No, and that's subjective. You might not rate him, but the fact of the matter is he's been missing. You just said, but wait.
It don't make a difference.
No, but you've just that's subjective. But the fact of the matter is we've had defensive players missing, and that's all his argument is. Okay, so he's actually
anyway. Let's do, since you're going to be the one that's going to be nitpicking on the detail.
No, I'm not nitpicking. I'm just saying let's speak in fact.
More players missing than Arsenal.
That's not true. Go check.
I don't know if that's true or not. So I'm not
going to talking about the under-21s, bro.
I'm not talking about the under-21s.
I'm not going to say that's fact or fiction because I don't know. But all I'm highlighting is when you said we've had no players missing, and that's not factual. That's the only query.
No.
I'm not disagreeing with nothing else you're saying.
Okay.
Steph, I'm not disagreeing with you, Steph.
Yeah.
No. You gotta understand.
In my opinion, then.
1 second.
No, you gotta understand with Spurs fans, they're the only.
No, but there's no need to get disrespectful, though, man. We're gonna have a mature conversation. Don't blanket all fans with one thing.
Hold on, guys, for 1 second. I just want to get another opinion on it. And Doing Tactics has been here in the corner for a minute now, and I just want to get another neutral's perspective on if Arsenal can win the league, or if he thinks it's a case of is Arteta another Poch in terms of what he did with Tottenham. Is that the same thing with Arsenal finishing second, etc., if they don't win another trophy?
I'll add the Poch part at the end. But can Arsenal win the league? They can. Of course they can. I think there's two things on that. In terms of Arsenal's play and the statistics, it all shows they're all on par with Liverpool and Man City as is. And I know people are going to go through the weeds in terms of games, injuries, and all of that, but it is what it is. They are where they are, and they're there for a reason. The main thing is that what we're going to find out from Arsenal this season is, have they grown from past mistakes? Is it possible to grow? I think they have. Personally, I think it's been intentional, especially the first half of the season, that Arteta had purposely changed the way they play, slowed down the game in order to have a more in order to do the stuff that he's doing now in the last 4 games and to be more fluid in his approach. Will it pay off? We don't know. It is a high bar. This whole thing that people have set for Arteta or Arsenal, that if he doesn't win the league, he should get sacked. Well, against the greatest manager on earth and stuff like that. I think what Arsenal fans, this is the part where Arsenal fans come into it, because it's very, very interesting. The question was, are Arsenal able to win the league before this one? And it went into, can Arsenal? How is Arsenal compared to Tottenham? And you got caught into the weeds of it. And this is the reason why I think a lot of Arsenal fans get caught into in my opinion, get caught into the banter from the fiction. It's why I made the joke previously where last season, for instance, in the Brighton game when you guys lost 4-1, again, it was fire drill settings. You left after 70 minutes. And I truly believe that's because on the back of all the banter and all the hype and the pressure, you fell into the jokes and the traps that are set for you. No matter what you say, Stefan, or any other Arsenal fans, you can bring out the stats, you can bring out the eye tests. Fans are going to banter you because it's their job to banter you. Yeah. And a lot of people are not going to, and they're also going to banter you because Arsenal have been mudded for the past 10 years. And it's hard for people to accept that you are getting better. They're hoping that Arteta doesn't win, because if he wins the league, God help everybody else if he wins the league. And so I do think that Arsenal can win the league. They got to believe. I'm big on mentality and leadership. It's going to come down to that. Do you believe you can win the league? And if you do believe you are going to win the league, despite whatever injuries or banters or criticisms or social medias and stuff like that, you're gonna close our ears to it and focus on each game as it is and go and win it. It's gonna come down to that, because at the end of the day, that's what Liverpool and Man City have over you. That's the one thing they do have, more than a couple of things in terms of world-class managers and everything else, but is the know-how, and they know that they can win leagues, they can win cups. I think Arsenal just got to be able to do that. But yes, they can win the league, absolutely.
Can I ask one thing? Yeah, everything you said was correct. I just had one discrepancy.
Yes,
so you
sir.
see when we slapped up Hammers the other day,
yes,
and all their fans left.
Yes, sir.
Was that down to other fans bantering them?
No.
So why is it banter for us but not them?
So for West Ham, and if you watch West Ham TV and other guys, they've actually said this. It's like comparing apples and oranges. They have a beef of Moyes. They hate his style of football, and it's been culminating for. I don't think they've won a game in the last 2-3 months, and this has all culminated in this game. And Declan Rice scoring that 6th goal, that crushed everybody. You should hear their fan cams, everything that they're saying is totally different to what happened with Arsenal. Like if we go back to a season last year, especially after Nottingham Forest games and all the interviews after that, you guys were absolutely crushed. Obviously, they didn't win. You succumbed to the whole thing around, you guys are bottlers, you haven't got the nerve, you haven't got this, you haven't got that. It is rival jam fans' jobs to banter the heck out of you, because if you win, it means you're not the Arsenal of before. You're not 8th place Arsenal. You're not bottle job Arsenal. You're not this and that. You're actually Arsenal, an elite team in the Premier League team. You can't compare. West Ham can't compare themselves to you in terms of the Premier League and the situation. But that's my take on it.
I'm not comparing them in that way, but you said that the West Ham fans hate Moyes. We have Arsenal fans that hate Arteta.
Yes.
We have fickle idiots like that.
Yeah, which shocks me.
Which is annoying. So a portion of those could be attributing to why they left as well. And then on top of that, they left before Declan Rice scored.
Sorry,
Arsenal down.
That was Declan scored the 6, so they left at 4.
They were leaving off when he was 4-0 down. That was enough.
And we left. Didn't our fans leave at 4? So I'm just curious to why you're 100% sure.
No, there was no.
Wait, Steph. I'm just because I just want to. How are you so sure that our fans only left due to banter from other fans, but nobody else?
Yes, sir. So I can't account for the thoughts and minds and hearts of each individual fan.
Okay.
I'm going on off of what I've seen from fan cams and what West Ham fans said why they left the stadium, and what Arsenal fans said when they left the stadium against Brighton. I'm going off of that, and then I'm going off of every time I've watched various other football channels and what it was and the banter that you guys got. I couldn't believe it personally. As a neutral, I'm thinking, but hold on, nobody expect when you guys finished top 4. Nobody expected you to finish top 4. You was like people were saying 6th, 7th, 7th. So
Exactly.
you over exceed when you guys finished in the Champions. In fact, when you guys were expected to finish Champions League, but you actually challenged. No one expected you to challenge, and you're getting. So I could understand why people couldn't see the progress. And I think the banter's increased because secretly people can see the progress. They don't want to believe that you actually are a better team. You're a better team the last 2-3 years for sure. And so if you win the league this year, or is going to cap that off. If you don't win the league, I think unless there's a major drop off, and you're only and for instance you just lose by, I don't know, 4 to 6 points. I've got an arbitrary number there. I still wouldn't throw away the baby with the bathwater. You're a better team. You just have to win.
Can I just add? When Liverpool, they have lost the league out of the last 6 years, they've lost it 5 times. They have finished second behind Man City. Did we ever hear things like Klopp should leave Liverpool if they don't win the league this year?
Because Klopp has been winning Champions Leagues. He's been challenging. He's lost
No,
leagues.
He hasn't been challenging. That's
Klopp won.
Let me finish.
How many Champions Leagues have Klopp won?
Let me finish.
Won. Wait.
Let me
So
finish.
you can't say leagues.
All right, let me finish,
singular.
please.
Let him land.
Please.
Go on.
All right. So he's won
If your foundation isn't sturdy, the building's going to drop down. No.
Let me finish. All right. So he's won a Champions League. He's won a league. He's won an FA Cup, I believe, or a League Cup. Right. He's also lost the league by 1 point.
Yeah.
I think it was, and he's also finished above 90 points on a couple of occasions. Yeah, he's finished fourth. Listen.
Wait. Let me.
Wait, I ain't
Let him
finished.
finish.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, and the context with Klopp and Liverpool is very different to the context with Arteta and Arsenal. I'm not saying Arteta needs to get sacked. What I'm saying is I can understand why some people say that, right? Klopp, every time he's bought players, has also had to sell players.
Yeah.
He's not been on any kind of by any sense of the word, he's not been on any kind of spending spree. Look, I'm a United fan. I cannot take Liverpool. I can't stand them to my stomach. They make me sick. But we have to respect what Klopp has done. Also, Arteta has won an FA Cup by playing 2 games.
No.
He played 2 games to win that FA Cup. He come in maybe 3 at the tops. He came
Sheffield away.
Yeah.
Sheffield away.
Yeah.
And then beat Man City and then beat Chelsea.
Right, so he played 3 games to win. So he played 3 games to win the FA Cup. Hold on. Let me finish. I'm not disrespecting Arteta. I'm just saying what the facts are. The facts are he's won an FA Cup in his first season, and he's spent £700 million since then.
That's not
so
true.
That's why people are saying that he needs to win something. I don't particularly think. I happen to agree with sorry, Toon Tactics. I don't know your name because it's not on the screen. I happen to agree that people don't want to see how much progress he is making. I don't want to see how much. The most fans I know are Arsenal fans. I don't want to see how much progress Arsenal are making, but they are making progress. You'd be blind to say that they're not.
If I can jump in,
But that's why people are saying Arteta needs to win something, is because the amount of money spent, the backing he's had, right, and the fact that he's not had to sell to buy. With Klopp, is chalk and cheese at this point.
How is
you
it
can't compare.
Before you go,
you can't compare Arteta to Klopp.
It's such bullshit.
Because you know what? You see what you did there, Yoms. Because how long has Arteta been at Arsenal?
What is it? 4 years? 5 years?
4.5.
And what did Klopp win in his first 4 years at Liverpool? Because you sidestepped what Stefan's question was, and you spoke about Klopp's entire tenure. And then it's not fair to compare his entire tenure with only Arteta's 4 years. Do you get what I mean?
If you look,
100%, 100%. But if Klopp had had the financial backing,
but if my mum had a penis, she'd be my dad.
This is what you've got to compare what is there, right? So if
you didn't. You compared 8 years to 4.
Well, let me compare it now. Let me compare it now. Right? Arsenal.
4 years, Arteta.
4 years, Arteta. With how? Wait, let me finish. With how much money? With how much money spent?
Klopp
Klopp's first
spent a
4
ton
years.
of money, man. Why are you
No, but
underplaying
stop,
the amount of
stop,
money
stop that,
Klopp has
Steph.
spent?
Because no, hold on, Steph. How much money has Chelsea spent?
What
Money
is
doesn't
this
guarantee.
bullshit that they're saying?
Money
Klopp
doesn't
spent
guarantee
money?
anything.
Are we talking about Chelsea or are we talking about Liverpool?
No, because you're saying money, so I'm highlighting on the fact of money. Money doesn't guarantee anything.
Money doesn't
No, no,
So you
guarantee
can't use that
things.
as a reference point, then.
So
No?
money means nothing in football.
But it doesn't guarantee. So you using that
It
as a
doesn't
defining
guarantee.
factor
It
to
doesn't
down him
carry.
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't guarantee, but money helps.
So how
No?
can you use that against him then?
If Klopp, right? If we're comparing Klopp and Arteta, and we're saying first 4 years and first 4
Yeah.
years, then money matters. Of course
You
it
didn't
does.
spend
If you're
600
saying
million
so,
on that.
so we're saying so we should just discount. We should just discount the amount of money that Arteta spent in his first 4 years.
First of all, Yoms.
But it's not
Why don't we
700
do that?
million.
Wait, Chinks.
I think it is.
No, wait. Let
It's
me.
not 700 million in 4 years.
Wait.
I
That's
think
not
it
true.
is.
No,
Let
that's
me
not
just
true.
double check. I think it is.
First of all, Yoms, just to check on your facts and figures about Klopp selling his best player. The only player Klopp ever sold, in terms of his tenure, a top player from Liverpool, was Coutinho, with which the money he used, he bought Fabinho, he bought the goalkeeper, and he bought
Van Dijk.
Mohamed Salah. All those players, all those top players have stayed at Liverpool over that. He hasn't sold one top player. This is what I mean by one manager is more likable and has better PR than another. The second thing, all this bullshit about money that you keep saying. Klopp has spent 50 million on Naby Keita, who left for free. Klopp has spent 40 million on Oxlade-Chamberlain, who left for free. He has spent plenty of money. This
Managers. I'm not. I didn't say that Klopp's signings.
Wait. Let me.
Managers get signings wrong all the time. Managers get signings wrong all the time. What I'm saying.
So why is Arteta not allowed?
Wait.
I'm not saying Arteta is not allowed. Did I criticize Arteta's signings?
No, I'm not saying that. What I have.
I didn't criticize his signings. I'm just saying he spent a lot of money, and Klopp hadn't spent the same amount of money in the first 4 years.
That's not true, though. In his first 3 to 4 years, Klopp spent far more money than Arsenal. Go check. He spent 35 million on Mane. He spent in last few years. He spent 50 million on Jota. He bought Darwin Núñez for 100 million euros.
So are we comparing? Are we comparing his whole tenure, or are we comparing the first 4 years? Because right now I'm looking at it, and Arsenal has spent Arteta has spent 600 million since 2019. I do not think. Look. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do not think Klopp spent that in his first 4 years.
We'll check. I think Klopp has spent almost the same or a little bit more
in his first 4 years. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Me personally, I'm not this who spent more business. It's about how was that money spent? Was it spent well? Klopp spent it well in large. In my view, I think Arteta has also spent it well in large. Not everybody might agree with that, but in large, in terms of, I know we won't have the time to go through all of his transfer dealings, have been successful. And this is the part, I can only advise Arsenal fans, is like, if you're going to allow yourselves to get caught up in the weeds of this thing, you're going to end up you're blowing your head off. I think, look.
It's just nobody.
Are we asking whether Arteta is better than Klopp?
Yeah,
is that what we're doing?
No, we're not asking this.
That's how you let me just
it. Let me give me 10 seconds. Give me 10, 15 to elaborate why I had it. You said comparing Klopp to Arteta is chalk and cheese, which is complete bullshit because they started from exactly the same spot. They took again, give me 10, 15. They both went into a team that was complete chaos, that was once a great team. So fans had expectations. They took that team. They removed a number of players, changed the whole start. If you look at Klopp's first starting 11 to after 3 to 4 years, every single player, apart from I think 1 or 2, I think Jordan Henderson, was changed, just like Arteta, something that they gave him shit for, but they didn't give shit to Klopp. He spent a ton of money. Everybody denies this, that he didn't. Everybody thinks Liverpool, for some reason in the media, even though they had a bid accepted this summer for 110 million for Caicedo, he just rejected them. So they would have spent that money also. So everybody says, oh, Klopp didn't spend any money. They also had 50 million rejected from Lavia. So this misconception that Klopp hasn't spent money, he has spent money just like Arteta has. But where they don't give Arteta credit is where his club, Man United, spent 80 million on Anthony and 80 million on Maguire, and they're crap. There's no expectations there because they're not good. Whilst Arsenal, because they have spent money and look good, now suddenly have to win the league every single season when Klopp in that time period has won 1 Premier League, and nobody has ever said if he doesn't win the league next year, he has to be sacked. He had why? Because Man City are
Listen,
really good.
like I said, I'm not in this Arteta needs to be sacked thing. I'm all for managers getting the time that they need and deserve, right? And look, you would have to be blind to say that Arsenal are not making progress. But the facts are the facts. If you're comparing Arteta to Klopp, then you either have to say we're going to compare his whole tenure or we're going to compare the first 4 years. Klopp has spent in his entire tenure at Liverpool 615 million. That's only 15 million pounds more than Arteta, and he's been there for 5 years longer.
Yeah.
So let's not pretend that it's this equal footing.
Wait,
all I'm
is that
saying
net
is
spend?
it's not equal footing.
Yeah, Yoms,
Is
was your
that net spend? Wait,
Yoms? Forget net spend. We're not. Yoms, I think if you correct me if I'm wrong, your original point was, I think, around essentially where we
Arteta has to win the World Cup, basically.
Yeah.
That was his point.
No, well, he has to win the Premier League, so there's an expectation, which is
No. I never said he has to win the Premier League. I'm
okay.
saying he needs to win something.
Something, okay.
He already
Right?
has though, no?
Which is
Now
what,
the FA Cup, the FA Cup.
That's only the Champions League in the Premier League, though. That's for this season.
No. I think he could. Well, yeah, for this season. But
that's the only competitions he's in.
I'm saying the reason why people are saying he has to win something.
Okay.
Right. I'm not in this.
Okay.
Again. Let me clarify. I'm not in this. Managers getting sacked for coming second or coming third, right, and making progress. Because again, I also understand that you are up against, and I'm a United fan, and it burns me to say, but you are up against the best manager of all time, who has made the bar rise from 75 points there and thereabouts to literally 100 points in the Premier League. He has turned a draw from picking up a point to dropping 2 points. There's a difference. So I'm not this whole Arteta has to get sacked thing. I'm saying the reason why people are saying he has to win something is because I understand he's won an FA Cup in his first half a season. Really and truly, yes. Look, let's not get into the semantics. He won 3 games to get there, right? But since then, we've had, that wasn't his team. Now he's got his team, spent his money, he's been there for the length of time. He needs to win something. You cannot have, we are all saying, we all know how rubbish Manchester United have been, right? Ten Hag has his critics, he has his people who support him, he has people like me who are on the fence.
I think that's overdone a bit as well.
But he won something.
Really?
Do you get what I'm saying?
You know what would be the narrative from opposition fans and from the media that are insecure about Arsenal actually being a serious club again? If Arsenal win the League Cup and the FA Cup, what Toon Tactics pointed out, the narrative will be, for the money that he spent, that's not enough. They need to win the Premier League and the Champions League.
For some people, it might be. I can only talk about for me. For me, I think Arteta needs to win something. I think it will be absolutely crazy to me, which looks like it could possibly happen, because I think Spurs go in for trophies next season. I do. I think Spurs go in. I think Spurs go and focus on a trophy. They might go and focus on an FA Cup, or they might go and focus on.
Don't do this,
if they qualify. I'm telling you, they do. And if Spurs start winning trophies before Arsenal,
this is what I was gonna say.
That's gonna be a problem.
They're not winning.
That's why I want to sorry guys. I want to bring in Deji real quick, because what would your feelings be if it was progress that you were hearing? Progress every season. Progress.
No, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we understand the game that we love. Progress is short-lived. You know, after about 2-3 seasons, you have to start producing results. You need to start seeing trophies, and then you need to start seeing proper trophies. So you take things in stages. Yeah, you know, the first 2-3 years, you can knock out an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. But then that's not sustainable. After that, people want the big boy trophies. They want the Champions Leagues of this world. They want the Premier Leagues of this world. And I think Arsenal are at the stage where winning an FA Cup is not enough. If Arsenal were to, I mean, I know Arsenal are no longer in the competition, but let's be real, Chinks and Stefan. If you were to win if you had won the FA Cup this season, there's no way you could be satisfied.
No, but
Yeah,
it
that's true.
depends on other things. So, say for example, what was the last top trophy Ten Hag won?
League Cup last
The
year.
League Cup.
Alright, that was last season. And I understand trophies and I respect trophies, but our second place finish, I think, is worth more than that trophy.
I totally agree with you.
Do you get what I mean?
agree.
So,
To fans,
No,
to
but if we-
footballers, no. To
Really?
footballers, no.
I'm not a footballer though.
Anthony moved to
I'm
Man
not a
United
footballer,
to win
though.
the League
Yeah,
Cup.
to fans,
Right.
You know what I
you
mean?
might say,
I'm not a footballer.
I would rather take third and a trophy than second and nothing.
Bingo. So you see what you said there, third. So it has to be a respectable league finish.
Yeah,
You
of
get
course.
what I
You don't
mean?
want to. You don't want to come 16th and win the league cup and be happy. No.
That's all I was saying, Deji. So yeah.
No. That's all. That's the point I wanted to say. But I do agree.
It depends
because
Deji,
Stefan almost choked on his yam. But go on, Stefan.
just to add to your point, I think it depends on the club and the context. For example, Spurs winning an FA Cup and a League Cup after winning nothing for 16 years, winning no major trophy for I think 30 years. That will be big. They need to win to break that.
No.
Arsenal are the holders of the FA Cup. They have won them all. So Arsenal winning an FA Cup right now will not be the same significance as Spurs winning a League Cup or an FA Cup. I won a league title because Arsenal haven't won a league title in 20 years. Yeah. And in my opinion, we haven't truly challenged for the league since 07-08, in my opinion, when we were first.
Whoa.
Tell me, Jinx, when was the last time you believed we would win the league? Truly. Don't give me the latter Wenger years when we all knew once February hits, we're fucked. We always go out.
What about the 5 points last season? That wasn't
okay. I mean, apart from last season,
nobody believed Arsenal were going to win the league last year after February. Nobody.
Can I just make my last comments as well?
Sorry.
Because I have to say I'm enjoying listening to you panelists, full of knowledge, and I just want to listen and enjoy. So, for me, Spurs fans, and I'm of the opposite side, Ash knows, I don't give a damn about the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. For me, it's not enough.
We
For
can
me,
tell.
it's not Cup. And people might say it doesn't make sense, you haven't won this or won that, but Tottenham is part of the big six. That don't make sense, but we're there. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, right now, I'm a little bit like Postecoglou. It's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved it all. I want to go for broke. I want to go for the big prizes. I wouldn't be satisfied if Tottenham had stayed in the FA Cup and got to the final. I'm not going to lie. I would have gone and I would have bought my son a burger at halftime.
The worst as an Arsenal. How can you say that?
You know what that is. You know. In all honesty, if you're honest, you know what that is. That's a defensive shield.
It is
why you're not winning things. It's just a cover. It's like you know when Batman covers himself and disappears for the night. That's what Tottenham fans are doing.
Yeah, 100%.
Why have we got to do that, man? Why have we got to start generalizing it?
100%. It's smoke and mirrors, bro. It's smoke and mirrors.
I'm sure. That little League Cup. Oh, that little FA Cup. Oh, come on.
Can I just say one more thing, though, my bro?
Is he not allowed to be ambitious?
Let me tell you what it is, guys.
Here's how far I'll go with you. You and us, Newcastle United, are on the same block.
No one.
We're on the same estate. Me and you are on the same estate. You know what you done though? You had an opportunity. You had the opportunity to get out the hood. You had that bit of money.
Bro, let me tell you.
Your aunt died. She gave you £1 million.
All disrespectful now. Come on.
Let me tell you what it is.
You know what you did? Instead of moving out the block, you refurbished the flat. So you're still in the block with me. And me and you are going to the same.
I'm going to give you
a different same dead school. Let me give you to the same dead playground. Let me give you. You're trying to say that the cup's a small thing.
Yeah, well, let me give you a quick different analogy, real quick. Right now, the big six are in the capital in Hunger Games, and the Spurs is there. You get me, with the flame catching fire. you man out there in the district. So we can never be on the same level, man.
What about a chicken shop? What about a chicken shop?
That's what about a chicken shop. But I will say this though, because people always tell me if you win a trophy, it's the start of something great. It's a winning mentality. You touch the silver and it changes things. But for me, I feel like there's levels. I feel like there's certain trophies that don't really change your mindset. In fact, you go backwards.
Ask
I
Harry
take
Kane.
Manchester United. Yoms, I like you as a brother, so I'm not making a dig, but you agree with me. Manchester United went from winning leagues and Champions League to violently shaking their bum for the Carabao Cup, and look at them this season.
They won
When
Europa
you
League.
set your
still
level
one more than
low,
you.
you get low results.
At
They
their
still
worst,
For
won
me
they're
as a
more
better
than
than
Spurs
you.
fan, I want to set my level on high. Now, Newcastle and Aston Villa, if you guys won a Carabao Cup, you lot will shake your bum violently. You would have been
100%.
happy with it.
100%.
Tottenham fans
100%.
cannot be happy with Carabao Cup.
Why?
Never.
Who are you?
Well, that's
You're
what I
a
don't
big part
understand.
of the Big
The,
Six,
the,
so
the
what
context, the context is different, right?
You
So
say we're part of the
United,
big six,
you-
my guy.
United is very different, right? It's very hard. It's very difficult to explain the United fan base, especially of a certain age, right? It's very difficult. So I'm not even gonna try. United's it's a different beast, right? We just liked the idea of a hurrah, even if it's a small hurrah, it's a hurrah because we've had hurrahs before, right? What I don't understand when Spurs fans say the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup is not enough. To me, that sounds absolutely bonkers. The reason why it's bananas, it's like saying there's a guy who's never even lips the chick before.
Whoa.
And he's saying to her, unless we go the whole hog, nothing.
No, Yums,
That's not fair, man.
It's
This
not,
is not
it's the
fair.
truth.
You lot
It's
are
the
disrespectful.
Wait,
You
guys,
lot are
disrespectful.
I'll
You lot are
give you a really
disrespectful.
good.
Can I just ask
Hold
you a
on,
question?
is Deji not allowed to be ambitious? Because this is basically what you lot are
That's
saying.
all right. Thank you,
No,
James.
Go. Look, by all means, when you go out, right, and you're trying, like when you're talking to a thing, listen, try and go the whole hog.
But,
Try, do you get me? But if you've never even seen a chick before, just be happy to be in her presence. That's the truth. There's nothing wrong with aiming for the sky. Be ambitious, but don't tell me that the FA Cup is not anything and that you don't want it.
Respect is true, but let's do this though. Really and truly, whether you like it or not, the game moved on when Abramovich took over Chelsea, when the guys from Abu Dhabi took over Man City. The game became about money. Yeah. Now you're gonna make more money finishing fourth than winning an FA Cup. That's just a fact. That's the truth. So what my brother Chinks is saying there's levels to this thing. So what I find quite astonishing is the nostalgia over the FA Cup. You lot are just it don't mean the same thing because teams would rather finish fourth than win that cup.
That's not true.
At the end of the day,
Spurs would rather finish fourth. Spurs.
No, don't be silly, Stefan.
The way
Arsenal would rather finish fourth than win the FA Cup.
But do you know why though? It's not because of the position fourth. It's because of the Champions League. Exactly. That's the reason why. So it's not the actual position that matters. So for example, this year, hopefully Man City do well in the Champions League. Can't believe I'm saying that. Hopefully Liverpool do well in the Europa League. Can't believe I'm saying that. Hopefully, who else is in Europe? Who else is still in Europe?
Oh, for the fifth.
Hopefully West Ham, because the fifth spot. Do you get what I'm saying? So this year, fifth is worth more than the FA Cup by getting into the Champions League. You get me? Financially, etc., etc. But winning and that celebratory feeling of winning is something that you must want for your club. Like you can't, because it's not the same finishing fourth, finishing third. You're happy that you're in the Champions League, but you're not celebrating. There's nothing tangible.
I hear that, but
do you get what I'm saying? So you've got to respect the FA Cup and the League Cup because those things are hard to win as well.
I want to respect it. That's how I guess where my view has come from is the fact that I look at what the squads that the teams put out generally in this competition, and I think Arsenal under Arsene Wenger bastardized the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup because they used it as an opportunity to play the under-21s. And from when I saw that, I saw no one's taking this thing serious.
But then were you watching Man City then? So why have Man City won it 5-6 times in a row?
Single year.
You lot are not being genuine to Deji, man. Because you know what's going to happen when he does. If let's say hypothetically speaking, Spurs do win the FA Cup or the League Cup, yeah, all you lot are gonna say next season is, yeah, but you ain't won the league. You ain't won
No,
this.
I'm not gonna say that.
No,
No, not you.
Okay,
Because you haven't. But I know everybody else is going to.
I bet you any money. I bet
Even
you
if
any
we
money.
win the league, yeah, next season I'm going to get Man U fans saying, "Boy, I hate the Champions League." Like, do you know what I mean? So I understand where he's coming from.
But the reason people will say that, Chinks, yeah, is because like Toon said, it's a rival's job to banter you.
Why?
Right? That is because that is part and part of
point.
football. That's
That's
part
the
of
point of
banter.
banter.
Listen,
not.
let's be real. Banter is why we are even here.
For real.
Nah, man.
Banter
I
is
think we're having technical football debate here.
yeah, it's a balance because you banter and you debate. It's part of football.
But
if football was all just nice,
as long as you can highlight when you're bantering and being disingenuous, because I think we misconstrued the two. People just say loads of stuff to put you down and don't give you credit for nothing.
Yeah, and if Spurs won the FA Cup, I would congratulate them.
Yeah.
I would banter them, but I would congratulate them. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you've got to be that winning feeling. You've got to want that winning feeling for your club. You've got to.
No, but you know what it is, Yoms? But I want the winning feeling for the right trophies. Right? For me, in world football right now, for club football, there's only 2 trophies you should be aiming.
You haven't won the league
If you're a
in
big
60
dog,
years.
you should be aiming for the Champions League or Premier League. Every other thing is fluffy. Newcastle, on the other hand, I understand where these men are coming from.
You lot are just disrespectful. You're just disrespectful.
Look, Deji, guys, Deji, I'm gonna give you an example of what Deji sounds like. Deji sounds like he's a Spurs fan. So the way he's talking, it's like you're going to prom with no date, yet you're critiquing everybody else's date and saying, "Oh, she's not that attractive. She's something like that." Yet you are at the prom with no date, and the Newcastle fan next to you is like, "Dude, shut the fuck up. We both have no dates. We're both not good."
This is just mean.
I mean, look, it sounds like you're one of those individuals that's willing to take one for the team. I'm not that guy.
That's willing to take one for the team. No, I am one of the individuals that has come to the prom with a date. I don't need to take one for the team.
I'm just saying, that's what it sounds like.
Oh, FA Cups are not that important. And only league titles and Champions Leagues. The last league title Spurs have won is in the 60s when it was black and white TV.
There we go.
And the last Champions League they have won is never. So it's like where do you get this? Where do you get this?
You shot yourself in the foot there, Steph, with that last little one there.
No, it's exactly. It's like he's saying, "Oh, FA Cups are not that important," and then League Cups. Did you see Anthony cry? Anthony cried when you guys when Man United won the League Cup. He was
Where
so
is he
happy.
now?
Okay, I get it.
You see what you shot yourself in the foot there, because you're mocking Anthony for doing what you're
he's one more than Saka
Deji for not doing. Do you know what I mean? He's saying he don't care about the cup. He wants to win bigger than that. And now you're mocking Anthony. So the only thing cups do, yeah, is stop us from getting this abuse we're getting now. We've highlighted. That's all.
Guys, what is the point of elite sport? Can you guys tell me what is the point of elite sport? If you're in a club in a competition,
I've heard this story.
I'll tell you what it is. My last comment, I promise. Mm-hmm. So all I'm hearing is because since this is the analogy show today, for me, you guys are quite comfortable going to the Olympics and winning bronze, and bronze is not bad. By any stretch.
That's what you do.
But I want to go for gold, man.
No, but that's you do.
They don't win bronze.
Hold on. Bronze. You just been eulogizing about finishing 4th. That's not even finishing 3rd. What's the medal below bronze?
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, too. And I'm glad you asked that question. Ash, you know for a fact that we were not expecting Tottenham to get to a Champions League final anytime soon.
Why? Because you have won more cups.
I was proud that we were able to get to a Champions League
and conceded in the first 30 seconds.
You see?
No, unfortunately, we didn't win it. But bro, I would take a Champions League final over
you know what you're doing? You're peeing in my pocket and telling me it's raining. You're lying because you know. You're trying to eulogize to me, finishing 2nd, finishing 4th, and you're saying it, but the person who's actually got the trophies, you're saying that's a little. That's
So are you
nothing.
telling me
That's
you
nothing.
would rather win the FA Cup than see Newcastle play a Champions League final in Madrid?
I want to see medals, 100%.
Yes.
I want to win the Champions League if I'm in it.
Exactly.
Then I think it's a
I wanna
fair to
see
say that
medals.
we have different standards.
Well, I'm
Jinx,
but you haven't got any standards. You haven't. That's what I'm saying to you. You're deluded. You're thinking that me and you are on the same block.
We're not.
Me and you are on the same mistake.
Get out of here.
Like, you just
You
because
man are in the district.
The district.
just because your flat, you've refurbished your flat. You think you're better than everybody else on the block. You're not. You're like us. That
No.
shiny stadium.
No,
Those
dude,
go-karts.
he just
Leaving.
came to prom. He just came to prom in a really nice shiny car, but with no date because he's got a really nice stadium. He's got
Levy,
such a nice
Levy,
stadium.
Oh, the only
Levy,
reason why
Levy,
you're
Levy,
even
your
on
mind.
this stream, my brother.
Levy,
Only reason. Tune, how did you get into the? When did you get into the game? Let me tell you when you get into the game.
Again?
You came into the game when you got taken by Abu Dhabi.
To me.
That's what happened. Abu Dhabi came in with the Arab money, and then you were invited.
Is this the first time me and you met? I think it is,
I'm
isn't
just
it?
saying, I'm just saying.
So,
Newcastle wouldn't be at the table if it weren't for that P. Let's be real, my guy.
even would you be? Hold on.
P.
Hold on.
What Arab money?
Look at this. You've got money too. You know what? When we had Mike Ashley, and I keep on saying this, we were having rehydration pools and wheelie bins. We had Mike Ashley calling Sports Direct Stadium on our St. James's Park. And you know how much he paid for that? £500,000. He paid £500,000 to have Sports Direct on his stadium. So when you guys were busy building stuff and we was outside, we was poor. You know
You're a
what it
wind up, Ash.
we was the mandems by the chicken shop watching you guys drive by in those flashy cars thinking one day that will be us. But now it is us. Now you're very, very scared because if we win the FA Cup this season, imagine that. I'll be coming on these streams with my gold medallion and you'd be swearing to me saying, no, but finishing fourth though, blood, that's the season, that's the ticket. And I'll be like, yeah, sure, Deji. You stay over there in the corner with your trophyless cabinet trying to convince me that finishing second is the same as finishing first. Even Man United, I don't know how you can talk Man United in the eye. In their worst season, 10 years, they've still won 4 more trophies than you, including one in Europe.
But what were the trophies?
Oh, you see, look at this.
Europa
This is
League,
insane.
FA Cup,
This is
Cups.
He's keeping, you know what? But he's
It's-
keeping the same energy though.
It's 4 more than you and in Europe.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm sticking to my guns.
So wait.
Me,
Are you saying a Europa League, a European trophy is not something that your fans always wind up Arsenal fans? We have a Europa League from
all
the
right,
1980s.
Stefan, you know what? Let me help you.
The way he starts is just so.
Obviously, look, we're all meeting each other for the first time, so so my rhetoric is gonna obviously catch you guys by surprise, and especially you, Stefan. So I want to just bring you up to speed real quick.
No problem.
I
man.
don't rate Europe.
You don't rate what?
The only team in Europe that I rate is Real Madrid. The rest of the teams,
Oh, I
are
get what
dusty.
you mean.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rest of the teams are dusty.
Bayern
So you
Munich?
can't even come to me
Hold on.
about the Europa League.
Did
when
you
I'm
just
already
say this?
thinking that
Did you
the
just
most
say
of
you
the
don't rate
European-
Europe?
There are no decent teams in Europe apart from Real Madrid.
Barcelona, Bayern Munich.
What's that? Hold on,
What's that?
No, not historically.
Is he-
Not
is he
historically,
being
Steph.
real?
He means like
He's talking
currently
about
the
right
level
now.
they're playing at. how- the
Right
level
now,
they're playing at.
right now, Copenhagen are they're crazy. They're playing.
And
I think
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen are playing crazy. So there's I hear what you're saying. The big teams, like Barcelona, are not the Barcelona of old. Bayern Munich.
Inter
The
quality.
Champions League is coming home. It doesn't matter. It's coming to England. That's all I care
No,
about.
it's only
It's not Spurs, though. It's
the
not like we
Champions
say,
League. The Champions League can only go to Man City from England. A, but
But
B.
I expect Arsenal to get to the semi-final at least. That's how
Yeah,
low
because
I
we're a
think
good
Champions
team.
League is.
Arsenal can get to the semis.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but to say Europe, but to say even more so,
Wait.
more so than Spurs should be winning. If Europe is so dusty,
Mhm.
then Spurs should be winning a European trophy.
Yeah.
That's not
You see what
fair
I'm saying?
though, because
Under
our league is very
Postecoglou,
competitive.
we can do it.
Because what?
Under
Our
Postecoglou-
league is very
Shit
competitive.
in Europe.
Our league
Shit
is
in
very
Europe.
competitive, but now Spurs are going to finish in the top 5, right?
Oh, you mean
top 4? Yeah.
Okay.
So next season, even if you finish 6th and go into the Europa League, whatever it might be, right? If Europe is so dusty, then you should be bringing that trophy home.
I agree.
Yeah, it's true.
You get what I'm saying?
Europe is that dusty.
So quick pivot, yeah. Can Arsenal, because Arsenal are currently in the Champions League, so are Man City. Man City just won. They beat Copenhagen, I think it was. Arsenal, if they progress past this round and they manage to like face City on the way to like the final, let's say, can Arsenal or could Arsenal beat City over 2 legs in the Champions League game?
Depends on who's fit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If City have their best squad, no chance. For me,
I think, funny enough, at their best, it's funny because I think 2 things. I don't think they will win the Champions League. However, I do think that out of all the teams in the Champions League, they're the most equipped to beat City over 2 legs because they play them in the Premier League. It's an odd scenario, but that's what I think.
No, and I would say if Thomas Partey is fit, we play him and Declan Rice, we can beat them. If
KDB and Rodri are fit, it doesn't matter what type of rice you have. It doesn't matter what type of rice, what type of party. You can have party rice. Every African knows what party rice is. You can have party rice. It don't matter.
We played them in the Community Shield with their full squad. Outplayed them, edged them in that game, and we beat them on penalties.
And you thought Man City cared about the Community Shield?
No, but I just want to highlight.
They played with their. So when Spurs beat Man City, it's a great Spurs victory.
No. Listen. Every footballer in the history of football has told you that the Community Shield is a do not get injured game. Yeah. Just do not get injured for the start of the season. Every footballer in the history of football has said that it's nice to go to Wembley and stuff and have a day out with the family and it's all for charity and stuff like that. It's great, but I wouldn't count that as a we beat them like that.
Okay. So they played with their full squad, with their full set of players. So did Arsenal. Is that still not counting them, or City were just taking their foot off the gas again?
Yeah, I personally believe players. I haven't even said what I believe.
There's no everything possible.
I personally believe that players go into the Community Shield. Look, United used to be, not now, used to be in the Community Shield year in, year out. It's never a game that I've ever mentioned come out of my mouth. Because players go into that not wanting to get injured. Like
Okay. In the league game, when they came at home, we completely nullified them. Completely.
Did we win that?
I think they had 1 shot on target.
Did we win?
So,
I'm genuinely asking. I don't remember.
I just think. What's funny? I don't understand.
No, it's just the way the question came out. It's not even the question; it's how it came out.
I don't remember.
I mean, I honestly think Real Madrid. I think Arsenal are the best equipped. I agree with you in terms of Sabice. I think I watched Real Madrid against Leipzig. The amount of shots they conceded to Leipzig. If it's a better team, if it's Man City, they beat them easily. Bayern Munich, they just lost to Lazio. They had 0 shots. Bayern Munich are terrible this year. But I just want to go back. So since you said the only team in Europe that's good is Real Madrid, if let's say Bayern Munich played Tottenham right now, would you beat Bayern Munich?
Possibly. It's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, they just lost to Lazio, right? Like Bayern Munich are the.
You know what I'm trying to is that there's a big gulf between the Prem and the rest of Europe. So
you think you're better than Bayern Munich
for European teams anymore? It's not like that. The gap is too much, in my opinion. I expect English teams to dominate year in, year out. Moving.
Do you realize you're fourth, and you think you have the tools to beat Bayern Munich?
That's
over
the
2 legs.
These are the.
You literally just said that Lazio beat Bayern Munich today, right?
Yes, I said they're not as good, but
but Lazio beat Bayern Munich today. Literally, the game finished about an hour ago.
Lazio are in the Champions League. Spurs finished 8th last year.
Stefan, let me give you one
This could win Bundesliga.
Stefan said something, so I'm going to drop it in a way that you will understand. You had Holding, who couldn't get into your team. He's gone to Palace, I think you said, he can't even get into the Palace team, yeah? We sold Eric Dyer to Bayern Munich, and he started against Leverkusen on the weekend. Just know that. He couldn't get a
started because
sniff at
of injuries.
Spurs. What I'm trying to show you, bro, is that the level between the Prem, even with the top 5, these guys are taking our dead wood. European teams are taking dead wood from the Prem and they're making them into something.
So are you serious? Are you seriously saying you have better players than Bayern Munich?
They tried to buy
No, but
Trippier.
I said Eric Dyer starts for Bayern Munich.
He started because they had injuries. All of their center backs were injured.
He wouldn't start for. We played Emerson Royale ahead of Eric Dyer. So you know.
And you know what? To go, can I tie it back to the question? Yeah, because this is why I get so annoyed. Yeah, when people call me like a typical deluded Arsenal fan, and it really hurts my soul because I can acknowledge my bias in it as much as anyone. Yeah, so I have to feel, even though I've been in agreement with 99.4% of the stuff Steph said. You see, back to what they're making the point of, yeah, is City and Arsenal. They're saying the Champions League, yeah, because it's like a high pressure moment, isn't it? So I just want to highlight, maybe you might be being a little bit biased by saying you can guarantee that Arsenal will beat City over 2 legs in the Champions League. And I'm an Arsenal fan. Do you get what I mean? I don't think that's something we can guarantee. Like when the pressure's on.
Yeah, we didn't say guarantee. I said we're best equipped. So best equipped.
No, not you two.
Oh, okay.
Do you get what I mean, though?
Yeah.
And I'm an Arsenal fan. I would steal that thing on your wall behind you, Yoms, to guarantee the win. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just saying that it's not. But by saying that your Arsenal will beat City in the Champions League, I'm just highlighting that might be a little bit of bias. That's all I'm saying. Do you not understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you can't say that. You can't say that on the one hand, City are the best team with the best manager, and then say, well, as long as we have Partey and Rice, we definitely beat them.
It's
no, I didn't say definitely beat them. I say we have the best chance.
Yeah.
Okay. I think everybody agrees. I think everybody agrees that of the teams left in the Champions League, if anybody is best suited to beat Man City, it's going to be Arsenal. But there's a difference between being. Look, if you stand Mike Tyson in his prime up against everybody on this chat, I don't know, innit? Like Deji might be the best. Deji might be the best place. Deji might be the best place to go in the ring with Mike Tyson in his prime, innit? That don't mean that he stands a chance. You know what I'm saying?
But what I won't do is allow Stefan to try and lie to us and say that Bayern Munich is some big team. They're struggling in their domestic league now.
They've won their league 11 times.
But they're struggling this season, man.
Like,
are they not struggling this season?
Your best ever player.
Are they not struggling this season, Stefan?
I can't.
Is Bayern Munich not struggling? Didn't they get slapped up 3-0 by Leverkusen? Didn't Leverkusen go back to top?
Okay, they got slapped. They lost. It's
and
February.
They lost tonight. So they're not the same Bayern Munich that you're trying to.
Okay, Deji, if they win the league,
who's Bayern Munich striker again?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, I just want to ask that.
I'm just
he left.
Oh shit! Oh wow! And I caught that one late. That was violent.
That was some reckless stray, bro.
They're not a serious club. They've only won the Bundesliga 11 times in a row.
But the Bundesliga is a dead league,
European trophies.
Why are you talking like it's a league of substance? It's rubbish.
The Bundesliga has been terrible for a little while.
So it's rubbish. Wait. So it's rubbish. But when we hear Spurs fans talk about the Messiah Ange, they say, "Oh, but he's won the Japanese fucking league and the Scottish league, but the German league is rubbish now."
Bro, I'm not even talking about what Ange. When we got Ange, I acknowledged that the league.
He got you there, Desi. You called him Ange. He got you there.
You know what it is? I wasn't judging Ange on his previous competitions. I've been judging him on what he's doing in the Prem. To come into the Premier League and take a team like Tottenham to fourth in his first season.
Eddie Howe did better.
Eddie Howe did that.
Eddie Howe did that.
You're in the Big Six. You're a big club.
Eddie Howe did that. Eddie Howe did that. Nobody cared. Like Eddie Howe did that.
Yeah, but
so what?
Conte.
No, I rated Eddie Howe. I rated his work.
I do.
I rated Eddie Howe's work. I thought he done a brilliant job at Newcastle.
Wait, Conte. Okay, he shot on Eric Dyer. Conte took Eric Dyer and fucking Davinson Sanchez and got you 4th place. So I would argue Postecoglou has a better Kane. He has a better score. He has a much better defense, a better goalkeeper, and arguably a better midfield than Conte.
Why do you think that happened?
Because you made better buys. You didn't pay 60 million
And
for
also,
Ndombele.
he
Ange,
took the dusty
because of
players that Conte weren't using, and he molded them and made them some. And he made
Also the eye test just says it, in it. Like Spurs are playing better
Why?
football.
Why does the eye
Yeah.
test say
The
it?
eye
Because
test say
players
it because
actually
Spurs are
perform.
playing better football. You can't. It's true. Like look,
Yeah,
look.
but that doesn't mean they're better.
No, it doesn't mean they're better. There's more than one way to play football. But if you're asking, are Spurs better now than when they had Conte? I would say personally, I think for me, I would take how Spurs are playing now. That doesn't like look, if you're asking who's the more experienced and who's won and blah blah blah, yeah, of course Conte is a crazy manager in football. He's done everything right, but the Premier League is a different beast, bro. Like, and Ange, what Ange is doing, as much as it burns me to say, Ange is doing wonders for Spurs. Like, we can't deny that.
Stop with this notion that the Premier League is a different beast. The most amount of European trophies that have been won over the last 10 years has been from teams from La Liga. Stop with this bullshit.
I don't mean this. I don't mean this in a disparaging way at all. Have you got a TV?
It's fine.
Have you got a TV?
Just to object to you, because I hold the Premier League in mad high regard, yeah. And I understand what you're saying about the Champions League, but I think that's due to the because remember we don't have a winter break and stuff. Like our league is very draining, and the Liga, is so no. But listen to what I'm saying. The Liga, until recently, was so a non-competition that goal difference was eradicated, and they had to decide if Real Madrid and Barcelona had the same points, they had to decide on head-to-heads because on average they won their games 3-0.
Guys,
so their league. No, and I'm not saying that the top two teams are trash. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that in comparison to the rest of the league that they have and the whole of our league, their league cannot. I think someone who finished 7th could finish 3rd or 2nd over
guys,
there.
Last 10 years, go look at the most amount of winners in the Europa League.
But why do you think that is? But why do you? But Jinx is just giving you the reason why.
Okay, Sevilla.
Let me tell you, Stefan.
Okay.
This is my last comment. Let me tell you the difference. Arsenal this season will have to play like let's say a Real Madrid on Wednesday and a Man City on the weekend. That is taxing on the legs and the body. In Real Madrid, get to play Arsenal on a Wednesday and then bloody play their under-21s against Osasuna. Come on, man.
First of all,
also in England we have 4 cups, right?
Okay.
In England we have 4 cups that the top teams go for. They have 3, but also when you check it, the reality is, look, nobody's saying Real Madrid is rubbish, right? But I don't, Steph, I genuinely don't understand what you are arguing against. Like, are you saying that the Premier League? Are you saying that the Premier League is not better than every other league in Europe?
You cannot. I'm looking at the facts. In my opinion, the Premier League is the most competitive, in which the last team in the Premier League has more money and can accrue better players. However, let me just finish my point. However, I'm going to shit on his because what he said. Sevilla, who finished 12th last year, who won the Europa League, took and destroyed a Man United team 3-0. So a team from La Liga that was 12th destroyed the 3rd best team in the league last year.
We beat hold on. But we beat PSG. We beat PSG 4-1. Like so like which ones?
We beat Barcelona more recently than that. In over 2 legs. I don't get what your point is. In a cup final, anything can happen. That doesn't mean that the league is not better. The Premier League has better players across better teams, better managers. The Real Madrid won the Champions League 3 years in a row, right, under Zidane and blah blah blah. That was absolutely ridiculous. We all know Real Madrid are Champions League kings, right? And then you have teams that have done well alongside them, Barcelona's of old, etc., etc. But when you're comparing the La Liga to Premier League, the Premier League just has more better teams. It has more high quality teams.
So it's a better league then. So you agree with us then? It's a better league.
I agree that the Premier League is more competitive, but when you look at the facts, the amount of finalists that have been in the Champions League final that have won the Europa League.
Sorry to cut you, Steph. What do you think is more difficult to win, the Premier League over 38 games or a cup tournament?
Of course, the Premier League is
So
more
you agree with
difficult
us
to
then?
win.
So if your whole point
No, I
that the La
don't
Liga
agree
is
with you.
better
You
than the
cannot.
Premier League is because
You
they've won a
cannot be.
competition, you've just admitted that the Premier League is more difficult to
You
win.
cannot. You cannot tell me that the Champions League that the Premier League is better when the best Premier League teams have gone up against the best La Liga teams and have lost to them in the biggest of games.
So let me ask you a question. As an Arsenal fan, yeah, who do you think's a better establishment as a club, Arsenal or Chelsea?
In the last 20 years,
No, just
definitely Chelsea.
in their whole entirety. Their whole entirety. Who's a better establishment?
That's
Bearing in mind we have more trophies.
That's a very difficult question.
It's not though. We have about double the amount of trophies they have. You're just
Yes,
nitpicking. And they have
I'm
2
not
Champions League.
nitpicking.
So
I'm
that
not
highlights
nitpicking.
that you are.
They
And
have
also-
more European trophies than us. This
Also,
is something
Stefan,
minor.
you're only talking about Champions League winners.
No,
right?
I'm talking about Europa League. So
And Europa League winners. You look at teams that have been in quarters, semis, latter stages
It's been La Liga teams
of
more
the no,
more
not
than
necessarily.
Mm-mm.
No,
Go
no,
check.
not recently.
We've had
If
four-
you're talking
we've
10,
had
if
four
you're talking
English
10,
clubs, we've had 4 English clubs in the semis. La Liga's never done that.
Chelsea won the Champions League a couple of seasons ago with a dead team.
Mhm.
You're talking about Europa or Champions League? Which what
Champions League. The Chelsea won the Champions League with a dead team that
Steph,
didn't even.
Okay,
That didn't.
I can give
Like
you.
Europa
I can
or-
give you examples. I can give you examples where Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid played in the Champions League final in 2014. Go look at
Yeah,
how
but
many
you're talking
winners.
about. But you're talking literally about Real Madrid
years ago,
winning the Champions League,
Yeah.
right?
Barcelona won it.
We're
in
not discrediting
2015.
Real Madrid and Barcelona. We're talking
Nobody's-
about the whole league.
The whole league.
Okay.
Like for
and
me,
that's why-
if you take 10th place in La Liga and take 10th place in the Premier League, I think the 10th place in the Premier League team is going to be better than the 10th place in La Liga.
But also,
The whole league, Premier League's just better.
what Stefan is failing to also acknowledge is that in the
I
La
disagree.
Liga, 90% of TV money goes to 2 clubs, Barcelona and Real Madrid. The rest of the leagues share 10%. Come on, man. So that's why they have the advantage. Do you get what I'm saying? But also, Stefan, you're failing to recognize.
Okay, what about Bayern Munich?
Well, why do you think they?
Bayern Munich is racing against themselves. You see, when you used to play Mario Kart and you had to chase your shadow, that is literally what Bayern Munich do year in, year out. It's the same with PSG. And the reason why they don't win that many, the reason why PSG don't win Champions League is because literally they have a one horse race.
To be fair to Stefan, is the Premier League becoming that with Pep's dominance? Do you not think Man City are on their way for the first time ever back-to-back trebles?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's not happening.
Yeah, but the reasons are different. The reason that's happening in England is because
115 charges.
Pep is well that
sorry.
but also Pep is like I said earlier, Pep is literally making winning the league between 95 and 100 points. Like that is ridiculous by any league standards. For Klopp to get 90, I think he got 92 points one year and didn't win it. Like that is nuts. That wins it in 80% of
every other league in the world.
Nobody's gonna care that he finished second.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is the reason why it's a one horse race was becoming a one horse race in England is not because the league is dead. It's because Pep has made City so good, and that shows in what he's doing in Europe as well.
Okay, he's not doing that well in Europe, has he? With Man City, he's won 1 Champions League compared to I think 5 or 6 league titles.
The Prem.
Yeah, if Man City's team was in the league,
if the Prem is so much more difficult and Pep has created a super team, why has he won 5 times more Premier League titles than European
because
trophies?
the Prem is the focus and it's more difficult.
Yeah.
No, it's not the focus.
Did you not see
the focus for Man City? Once Man City won 3 league titles, do you really think?
So you say they won it 5 times by accident?
In the Prem,
guys, come on.
Can I just say something? In the Prem, the top 10 teams are difficult matches. Newcastle,
100%.
Villa, Brighton, Wolves.
Tottenham.
Do you know what I mean? Tottenham, Chelsea, United. These are big games that if you've played the game, it drains you as a player. playing Osasuna, playing Real Betis. Man, I can play tomorrow.
Yeah, you know
what I'm saying? I can try and play tomorrow.
And do you know what else? And do you know what else?
Disrespect.
Do you know how it goes to show? Do you know how it goes to show? Right, City say City are playing Villa tomorrow, or say they're playing Newcastle, or say they're playing even Brighton.
Yeah.
As good as City are, they don't walk into that knowing they're winning.
Palace beat them.
And Yoms, can I
You
make
get what
this
I'm saying?
point as well? Cole Palmer was starting for City in the Champions League, but he couldn't get a sniff in the Prem. That's the level.
Facts.
That's the level.
Facts.
Are you seriously saying Cole Palmer is some top player? He's playing for
No, he's playing in the Champions League. I'm done.
Do you know what, Steph? I respect Steph. Steph, if your back's ever against the wall, Steph is the type of man that you need on your side.
Yeah, if I ever take over the world, you're the first person I'm hiring. I guarantee you, because you are militant. Yeah.
No, but it's like,
never back down. Yeah, you're the guy.
Steph wants problems always, bro.
No, I don't.
You know
what?
When the was talking,
the camera was off, you know, the camera was off, and then it came back on. And whoa.
He was on the way to the toilet, and he heard that.
I just heard him praise Cole Palmer. And I was like, what? No, but guys, seriously, maybe it's because I'm not British. I'm not from the UK.
No, it's not that.
No.
But the disrespect you guys give towards La Liga is, to me, like, some of the teams, like you named Real Betis and Sevilla, have won the most Europa Leagues. They're the equivalent of Real Madrid in the Europa League.
Steph, we haven't been in the Champions League for 20 years. And we circled the block on PSG 4-1.
And where did you finish in your group?
But look,
where did PSG finish?
But it's
Who
okay.
gives a shit?
You're not listening. You're not listening. Exactly. This is the point.
Final is one game, so
it was one game,
what I mean?
bro. They drew. We went to their ground and drew 1-1 with Lewis Miley 17. Forget Cole Palmer. Lewis Miley 17.
No, he's a good player.
Mbappe had to score. He scored one goal against Lascelles in the penalty, the Dodgers penalty in this Europe ever. That's the only way they could even get a draw. Over two games, we've got 4 points on PSG.
Okay, I get your point, but the issue for me is that there is consistency. Sevilla have won Europa Leagues. I think they won it 3 years in a row from 2012 to 2015. Real Madrid have won 3 champions. So your point, I get your point that it's a one-off game, it's a cup competition, anybody can be. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But you cannot deny the fact that Real Madrid have I remember, I'll never forget this. The arrogance in the British media was 2 years ago when Real Madrid.
You know what? I've just realized what this is. This is because you're not English. I've just realized.
I studied in the UK. I went to university in the UK. So no, it's not that. But I remember.
It's like saying, I've got black friends. That's what you just
No, wait. Let me just wait. I remember 2 years ago, the final between Real Madrid and Liverpool in the Champions League final. In the British media, they did a combined 11, and it had only 2 Real Madrid players. 2. And they shot on Liverpool.
Who decided that? Fans?
No, in like the Daily Telegraph.
Come on, bro. Come on. They had emails.
The Daily Telegraph is a respectable newspaper, is it not?
I don't respect no news, man. It's propaganda, man. It's all controlled by money.
Now. Fuck. Okay, it was on Reddit, guys. They did
and you know what you keep drawing to? Real Madrid are amazing. La Liga isn't. That's all we're saying.
There's a reason why Cristiano Ronaldo earned his stripes in the Premier League, went to the La Liga and smashed it. For me personally, I wish Messi did the same thing and come up to the Premier League to see it. That's my personal thing. And all the team will start. That's why, for me personally, that's why he can go to Premier League, go to La Liga, go to the Serie A, and just cause damage at 38, 39 years old.
Diego Forlan, bro. Forlan at United could not hit. He could not hit the goal when he.
But you've had many strikers.
Went to the Liga top scorer the very next season.
That's
Mad.
not
Like, it's just-
true. That is, again, come man.
It's just different gravy, bro. It's just different gravy. It is.
First of all, he went to Villarreal, had a very good season for like 2-3, then went to Atletico Madrid and was then top scorer. Like he
Okay, yeah.
developed.
But Diego
4 or 5
Forlan was
years
top
later.
scorer in La Liga, and that's just nuts to me, bro. Because Diego Forlan isn't as good as Danny Welbeck.
Oh my god,
That's just the truth, bro.
That's the truth.
In the Premier League, he's statistically correct.
Okay, guys. By your logic, then Sergio Aguero, shit. David Silva, shit. Let me think. How many La Liga players came to the Prem and were amazing?
Yeah, because they're amazing players, and
In
the Prem is amazing.
Oh,
But they
so-
wasn't rubbish in the Prem, and then went and smashed up La Liga like it was anything.
Why would they sign them from La Liga if
Because they were amazing players. Nobody's saying that there's no good players in the Liga. There are good players in the Liga, but the league overall is just not as good as the Premier League. Look, you can have 2 fit girls, and one girl's really fit, and one girl's average fit. It's all right. Like,
Yeah.
do you get what I'm saying? The Liga is just the banging one, isn't it?
Or you can do a step.
Sorry, the Premier League is just the banging one. It's just it's what it
Okay,
is.
Yums, but one of the girls that you call that's average fit has won Miss World 6 times, and the other one that you say, oh, she's the best, she's super fit, has won 1 Miss World once.
No. You're being disingenuous. You're being disingenuous because that one fit girl that's won Miss Universe 6 times is in a room full of average girls.
Of course,
bingo.
yes.
Right?
Because
And then you've got the Premier League, which also has a room full of 9s. 110 and bare 5s, and then there's a room full of 9s. And you're telling us what you're trying to get past us today is that room with 110 and a room full of 5s is better than the room full of 9s. That's where you would rather be. I submit to you, in my humble opinion, that I'd rather be in that room full of 9s.
No, Yums,
I would rather be in a room full of 9s, and I won't be taking one for the team.
No, Deji, as a Spurs fan, you'll be taking
Why have
no
we got
one
to start
home,
doing
so
that? Why
relax,
have we got to start doing
yeah.
But Stefan, you know what? As a non-English person, your knowledge is very good, though. Pause, if I have to. But your footballing.
I didn't even catch that.
I didn't even see that.
Thank you, Chinks. Yeah, thank you.
I will say that because
no,
you're to your points well.
guys.
IQ, then you're all right, yeah? For what?
Yeah, Doris, sorry. Got a bit frisky, sorry.
I'm shocked. Before, I used to think it was a misconception that in the UK they thought down on the leagues. You know, they thought like for example, what I liked Yom's example, how the Premier League is like you're in a room full of hot girls, but would you?
Oh, now you're
rather...
dissing our women. You're dissing our women, Steph. Come on.
No. In terms of yes, but La Liga has 10 out of 10s, and would you rather risk yourself and go with a 10 out of 10 or go with a 7 out of 10? That's
who name the 10 out of 10s in the Liga.
Real Madrid and Barcelona. Which player?
And then there's 18 other teams. How many of those are 10s or 9s?
Or 8s or 7s or 6s.
Let's just change topic now. This is endless.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
All right, here's a different topic, right? Because Arsenal.
He really was going to talk it, dude. He really
I told you. Deji, say something crazy.
I'll say something crazy. Look, Arsenal now. Arsenal, obviously, everyone thinks they're one striker away from like getting the business done.
Not everyone.
I'm gonna say something wild, right? Arsenal being linked with Mbappe. Let's take Real Madrid. Hypothetically, I know we're like, oh my days. Well, hypothetically, let's take Real Madrid out of the equation, right? Should Arsenal go for Mbappe?
Yes.
And apparently, because that's what I'm hearing in the press. I'm hearing in the press apparently that he was offered to an Arsenal, but they're looking at the wage structure or something.
Yeah. I heard. I've heard, and I've heard like the kind of analysis behind it. And someone's going back to the room with all the girls. You got to go into the room. I don't like the fact that there's clubs that aren't even willing to ask the question, like because they're scared of rejection. You said, for instance, your question is well worded. Should they go for? Yes, go for. You might get rejected, but at least like show yourself, show who you are. Like we're Arsenal club, we're a big institution. Why wouldn't you want to come play for us? But the fact that some clubs aren't even worth, I think I don't know if it's true, but there's one station. You know when PSG were negotiating with Messi, and they didn't know whether it's going to go and stay. No club, no Premier League club went for Messi. And then when the deal collapsed, Inter Miami came in because nobody would even show themselves. I thought that was ridiculous.
No,
Man City bought Grealish by accident, almost.
By
They could have got Messi instead.
No.
Yes, if you're
Messi's
Arsenal,
a coward.
go and show who you are. Go and show who you are, and go for it. Absolutely. If you're
No,
Tottenham,
but you're missing. I think Messi. There was a really good article on my favorite. It's not the Daily Telegraph.
This is the American.
Don't worry,
anyway.
Chinks. It's not propaganda.
which paper is it?
Athletic is my favorite sports place. Like I love the Athletic.
My best friend's black.
No, seriously, it's great. It's great. It's got David Ornstein. It's got probably the most reliable journalist when it comes to, and just their articles are much more in depth. And they did a whole piece on Messi. Messi didn't want to come to the Prem because he wanted to retire somewhere.
Exactly.
And he had three.
He didn't
main
want to
options.
smoke.
No, but
he didn't want to smoke.
He had three main options. He had Saudi Arabia, who were offering him just crazy money plus portfolio. And then the second part was that he has a house in Miami. His plan for his family, he has family in Miami. So his plan for his family was always to go to Miami. And the offer that they gave him, Apple chipped in with shares as part of the Inter Miami.
He was scared. It goes back to what Chinks was saying. He's a coward.
What do you mean?
He doesn't want.
The
He
guy
didn't
want to smoke.
He
didn't
Guys,
fancy it.
I've got to bounce, guys. I'm just gonna make this point before I go. Yeah, he just didn't want a cold day in Stoke.
Of course.
Yeah,
He didn't
thank you.
He wanted the Miami. He wanted the heat and the palm trees, and he wanted to relax. His shins have had enough, bro.
Exactly.
He's like, I don't want to go to Stoke. Do you get what I'm saying?
Just to add on,
Nice one, guys.
Nice one.
Yeah,
Thanks for your Thanks for the £10 super chat. I got to read out the super chat. It's very important. Love the banter, Steph. Should be in a comedy. Cool.
I don't know if that's a compliment or a diss.
It's a compliment. It's a compliment.
Compliment,
It's a compliment, man.
No, but seriously, for me,
I really enjoyed today's show. We got to do it again next week, Steph. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Good to see you, sir.
Really nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too, man. No, but guys, seriously, on the Mbappe thing, I think it's just he wants £80 million a year. Like are you nuts? Like this guy.
You know how many shirts you can sell?
It's true.
I agree, but by the way, there was this article on the Financial Times that there was always this rumor. Do you remember that myth that they said that Cristiano Ronaldo's transfer fee was in terms of the value of the transfer fee was immediately the amount of jerseys that they sold, they got back the money in 3 months.
And the stock price of the
that
club
was
and all
not
that
true.
stuff.
That is a guy did a Financial Times analysis, and that is not true. They said that they managed to get back the money from the Cristiano Ronaldo deal. If you just look at jersey sales after 6 years, and he's not sure if they actually managed to, because he's taken into account the full value of the jersey. When they sell jerseys around Madrid, they
don't get
pay
all of it, do
a
they?
significant amount of royalties to Adidas. So it's not the full value. So it's even longer probably. So that's not true. So I think if Mbappe does come to Arsenal, one, he's going to completely break the wage structure. And I don't think that's going to be helpful in the squad.
But
two, he's a complete prima donna. Just look at the French national team. They're all fucking divas and like consistent. Look at the French national team. All of their families hate each other. There's always drama in the dressing room. Like it's a joke. I don't want that. I love him as a player. Don't get me wrong. He reminds me of Henry.
Hold on. Let me get this clear. Who's on? So Mbappe plays on the left. Who plays on the left for Arsenal?
Martinelli.
Mbappe plays down the middle.
Oh, okay, middle. So which one would you prefer? So would you prefer if you got a chance to sign Mbappe?
Of course, I would take him.
Okay,
and you'd sell Martinelli, yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't sell Martinelli. I would keep him as competition, but I would take Mbappe, but not for £80 million.
What if you had to sell Martinelli? What if you had to sell Martinelli to get Mbappe?
I'd rather sell Jesus than Martinelli.
No,
what
if I would sell Martinelli, but he
traitor.
wants. I don't want to. But he wants $80 million a year, and I forgot to tell you his signing on bonus that he wants.
150.
120 million. He wants a 200 million starting package for the first year. That is nuts, guys.
I know, but all that aside, yeah, I'd fucking risk it. I'd fucking risk it for a biscuit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying you're wrong, Steph, everything you said was factual, yeah. But all that aside, I'm willing to test it. I'd buy that shirt. I'd buy that shirt, dude. I'm
No,
not
I
gonna
would
lie.
buy.
I'd buy that
I
shirt.
love Mbappe. I would love to see Mbappe, but not at the cost. Not at that cost. Like, even in my opinion, although the Declan Rice deal has been insane and the impact that he's had has been, I would say, worth the money. The amount of money that we spent, 105 million for, I don't think any player apart from maybe Messi and Ronaldo at their peak were worth that money. Like, look at all the transfers over 80, over even 70 million. I'm telling you, do an analysis. Literally 80 to 90% of these transfers have been complete duds.
But does Mbappe win you the league if you buy Mbappe?
He's not a dud as well. It's guaranteed,
he
isn't
does.
it?
Yeah, he's gonna score. He's gonna score 30.
That's the argument for me
40 goals a season.
How much more do you need to build a squad? Once you've got Mbappe, he might cancel out 3 or 4 transfers that you might need to do.
That's what I mean. That we need another striker. We need another midfielder. We need another fullback.
But I'm saying if you get an Mbappe, you don't need so many. If that makes sense.
We still need a center mid, and we still need a top fullback.
But the thing is, Mbappe will give you 30 goals. I think that's what you've been.
I agree. I agree.
Between, like, you know, what Marlon does for Man City, getting them 30 goals.
Yes,
it was the difference for them to get the Champions League.
But Ash,
guys,
Haaland off the ball works his ass off because he plays in a Pep Guardiola system. Go look at Mbappe trying to track back. It's a joke. He doesn't track back. So the same with Kane. If Deji's here, Deji would tell you. Kane's output was so good that you kind of ignored the fact that he never pressed and he didn't try and track back as much or press. And so that made you not as good of a team. But in terms of his output and him as quality of a player, he's amazing.
But what you lose
never.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you're overlooking his point. Because, like, say for example, you see like if you, I mean, you know, like when you've been playing trash and the team's been all over you, and you have that striker that just puts the ball in the back of the net, it eradicates all of that.
I disagree with this. I would say
the equalizer.
I disagree with this because the striker is the last person to eradicate when you're playing trash. Because Harry Kane, Bayern Munich have been playing trash for 4 games because there's no service and they're playing trash. He doesn't get a sniff. Doesn't even get a shot.
He's breaking records there.
Yeah, he was breaking records. But now they're in crap form, and he hasn't. And if you watch the Leverkusen game and the Lazio game, he did nothing the whole game because the whole team is playing poorly.
The reason why Man City bought Haaland and sold Jesus, for instance. Jesus works very hard off the ball. Haaland doesn't necessarily work at the same rate as Jesus, but they finished him. They bought Haaland for a very simple reason: to score goals. And if you got the chance to score goals that will win you competitions, that's Mbappe certified at that.
I agree.
World Cup, European Cup, Champions Leagues, like.
Dude, I agree with you. If I could have Mbappe, I would, man. But not 200 million. I'm sorry. For
That's
1
the price.
year.
That's the price.
If you could go back on the Declan Rice transfer, because you know the whole money thing that you're saying. So seeing what he's done for the team now, would you rather not have him and still have the money?
No. Declan Rice, in my opinion, the impact that he's had with the Arsenal team has been worth the money. The impact, the goals that he scored in big moments, the way he's played, and most importantly, in my opinion, this season, he has been the most consistent player in the Premier League. Mm-hmm. There hasn't been a player. I don't remember. I think the only bad game he's had this year was at home to West Ham. Yeah. That was the only bad game that I can remember where he wasn't at his usual level. So he is worth the money in my opinion. But I'm saying if you look at all the transfers above 70 million, guys, they have been a complete shit show. If I can name you now off the top of my head 5 transfers over 70 million that have been a complete disaster. Anthony. Let's go through Man United.
We agree with you.
We're just saying Mbappe, you know. Mbappe, might be in the 10%.
I agree. It might be in the 10%. But I would take the 200 million that we would spend on one player, buy Tony for 60 million, buy Pedro Neto for another 60 million, buy Pedro Neto for another 60 million. Buy a quality fullback.
You've been shopping in Asda for too long.
Twice. That's the saying, isn't it? So for me, it's like you could say that with Mbappe, actually, if you were to go that much further, that could make Arsenal get over the line, because you said you're looking for a forward, you're looking for a striker. And what Chinks was saying that, regardless about defending, I think actually was team tactics. He kind of eradicates the defending side of things. He makes up for that in goals. And I know, like, as you were saying, Jesus gets you defensive cover, gives you a lot of coverage. When you've got a player like, and the thing is, the point I was going to make was, you are one of the richest clubs in the world, so you can actually afford a Kylian Mbappe. Like, it wouldn't really, like,
It goes against our wage structure, but we can actually afford it.
You can actually afford him. You can actually.
Guys, I'm not saying.
And so,
I don't rate Kylian Mbappe.
Are you saying that Arteta's
the sacrifice?
First of all,
right for not looking at him at all, disregarding him?
No. First of all, no. What you're saying is true, but Ash, your point, in my opinion, also is missing the technical aspect of the striker that we need. What is the number one thing that all the opposition fans say Arsenal lack in terms of a striker? So we lack a classic number 9, a Didier Drogba, a Giroud type striker, a big.
When you said Ash, you're missing the technical aspect. I'm like, Mbappe, and I thought, who's the striker he's going to name? And he said, Osimhen.
I'm not saying Mbappe. I'm not Mbappe.
Because obviously he's saying he wants that kind of number 9. Like,
I want a classic,
strong physical.
Lads, I got to shoot. Yeah, lads, I got to go work. Sorry.
I
big up everybody. Yeah, lovely, man.
So I'm saying I've got to go in 5 minutes also, but we lack. Mbappe doesn't solve what we lack, because every team is going to play. Most of the teams that we play against is going to play with a deep low block. Mbappe, he's quality. Of course, he's going to score goal. But what we lack is someone like an Ivan Toney, like an Osimhen, who we can cross the ball, who can win the ball in the air, who can build up play. That's not Mbappe's strong suit. He's an amazing player. He's one of the best players, if not the best player in the world. Of course, I would have. But I think we need another type of player far more than Mbappe. And the money that we can spend to buy and to fill up the squad, I think would be more suitable from the way I described. I would sign Ivan Toney for 50 to 60 million. Another great winger, one of the best wingers in the Premier League this year, in Pedro Neto. I would sign a fullback, and then I would use the leftover money plus sales that we'll make for a top-class center mid. So we can sign 4 players instead of 1.
And you still finish third. I mean, Man City,
I disagree. I think if you put Ivan,
so Man City will buy Kimmich. Kimmich
is shit. I don't rate.
I bet you any money improves at Man City. Look at Kovacic and others like Pep Guardiola.
What is Kovacic proved at Man City to?
He's been a fantastic buy for them. He's been better than Hazard. Havertz. He's been fantastic for them.
Havertz has more goals and assists than Kovacic, playing in the exact same position. They're playing as 8s.
Kovacic is an exceptional ball carrier. He takes the ball from one end to the other and he passes the ball. He allows Man City to move up the pitch, and even if they get broken upon, so if they lose the ball when the opposition team attacks on them, his recovery pace is actually really, really good. He understands the technical aspect of it. It's the reason why Man City are able to. He's actually kept. Man City have been able to rotate players really, really well with him, Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, and kept things going. It's really good buys, and that's why I'm saying to you: you buy Neto, you buy another 50 million. You're only skimming the surface. What I think Ash is trying to say to you is that you don't have any. You don't have world-class players that are really there, like at the moment. Yes, but you're going to remain yet while Man City are there. They've got Haaland, they've got Bernardo Silva, they've got Aguero.
Bernardo Silva isn't world class. Is Bernardo Silva world class?
100%.
Come on, Tune. Is it that easy to call players world class nowadays?
He's better than anyone in your midfield.
100%. He's better than Declan Rice or Partey?
100%. 100%.
Come on, man.
He's one more than them as well.
Just because he plays for Man City doesn't mean
it's Bernardo
he's amazing.
Silva. He's Bernardo Silva and he's better than all your midfielders.
No, he's not. He's not.
He is. And even if he's not, De Bruyne is.
De
Foden
Bruyne is. Okay,
So
De
there's a
Bruyne is.
reason. There's a reason why they're winning. Like, you need an X factor player.
Yeah,
And
the reason is they have the two best players in the Premier League. A generational talent in Haaland as a striker, and one of, if not the best midfielder that's ever played in the Premier League in De Bruyne.
Why don't Arsenal have him?
Well, I mean,
That's the problem.
How old is De Bruyne? Can you tell me how old is De Bruyne?
No, I'm talking about Haaland. Why don't Arsenal have him?
Haaland, Man City, because he's such a top talent, and you were right, they needed that type of a striker. They signed him. So
Did Arsenal ask him? Did Arsenal go for him?
We couldn't afford him. Only two clubs went for him.
He went for 60 million.
Yes, only two clubs went for him.
How much are you paying? How much are you paying Havertz weekly wages? Around 250, 200, 300k. That's around it's the same wages as Haaland's on.
No, it's not. Haaland is getting paid 800k a week. I don't know where you're getting your
800k.
Yes, go check his wages. They're crazy.
Okay, so we'll go and pay it. Man City are saying to everyone in the league, this is how much the league means to us. You're saying.
So why didn't wait? Okay. So why didn't Liverpool go for him? Why didn't Man United go? Why was it only two clubs?
Well, if you remember, Liverpool responded by buying Nunes. They thought they could get a B-Tech Haaland for half the price, and it didn't work out.
Nunes is B-Tech?
Compared to Haaland, yes.
Okay, I mean, that's a bit
that's
hard.
That's literally what happened. That Haaland was bought in the summer. Liverpool responded with a buy that winter for Nunes for 80 million. In nearly exactly the same price as Man City paid for Haaland. That was a direct response. That's the first time Liverpool, for me, bought a ego signing compared to what they was doing before and the way they was working. And I think Nunes is decent, but it's not Haaland. So I'm saying you're Arsenal. You got to think of yourselves. I think I don't know if they've forgotten who they were, but the fact that you're not even asking Haaland the question. The first thing I said to you was, why not Haaland? You said, but Man City. All right. So then, if that's going to be the case for all the top talent in the league, then
when we signed, first of all, when Man City signed Haaland, we were in Europa League. So Haaland isn't going to come to a Europa League.
So team. What? Man United still bought players. And they were dastardly.
Who did Man United buy?
Man United been buying top players all the time.
Who did Man United buy when they?
At the time when he was hot property, Jadon Sancho. When everybody wanted Jadon Sancho, they paid for him. Anthony, when he was hot, I know he's rubbish now, but he was hot property. They were buying him.
They were in the Champions League.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Yeah, but it wasn't the same Man United. It was
free.
But why didn't Arsenal? That's my whole point. Why did Arsenal go for him? Imagine the striker. The striker you just described in terms of a number 9 who can press up against players and can control the ball and help us up the line is who? Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's way better than Tony. Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Way better than Tony. A 32-year-old, 33-year-old Zlatan Ibrahimovic at the end of his career was way better than Tony.
At the time of his purchase, when they got him, I don't know, what did he get? 20 goals his first season?
Yeah, it was mad.
No.
It was crazy.
He didn't get 20 goals. He got like 10 or something.
Okay. You can check the stats on it. I'm sure he got 20 goals.
I'm checking right now.
That one. But you know what? To be fair, Ibrahimovic got injured, but the first half of the season, I think if he stayed fit, they would have pushed. I can't remember.
For me, signing a once great aging player is not the way to be a great club.
So buy a young player who's a star in Mbappe, and that's what we're trying to say to you. Go for it.
Yes,
go and buy a star.
I would go for him, but there's an opportunity cost. There's an opportunity cost that for me is far too high.
Okay.
Because first of all, Mbappe, no matter what you guys made jokes about Messi, he can't handle, a cold day in Stoke. You never know how Mbappe will do in the Premier League. You never know if he will acclimatize as well as I'm sure he will, because he's a top player, but you never know. He might not be as good. The second part is the way you're dissing Tony, when Tony has scored 20 goals on a Brentford team that is, let's be honest, doesn't have good players. Can you imagine Arsenal with the players that Tony will play with? How many goals he would score if he scores 20 goals for Brentford? Tony would score 25 to 30 goals for Arsenal easily.
Possibly.
With Bukayo Saka, with Martinelli. and with Martin. And
Yeah,
not only that,
I'm not dissing Tony. What I'm saying is that for your every Tony, Man City have also got an answer. Like that's what we're trying to say to
no,
you.
they
So,
don't. No, they don't. Which Man City defender
Would you
can
say
hold up Tony?
your squad is on the same par as City? If you buy,
He means we got to sign a player that is above the players at City. Is that what you mean, Toon?
yeah, so like if you're gonna buy, like you said, if you're gonna buy a Tony, they'll just get another Alvarez, for instance. You know, and the cycle just continues. You're gonna have to get someone that's an X factor. I don't think you do. We're just within the scenario at the moment where if you've got the opportunity to go for Mbappe, if Mbappe is there winking and nodding at you, I'll be willing to do it. If you pay the price for it, I think you should do it.
No, I agree with you, but for me, the biggest difference where I agree with you about City is their best players are better than our best players currently. However, don't forget that Bukayo Saka is 22, Martinelli is 22, Odegaard is 22.
We're gonna come back for that. We're gonna save that for that. I've got that question right there, man. I didn't bring it up today, but yeah, we're gonna bring you back on for that. But guys, we're gonna have to wrap up. Big yourselves up. Obviously, some people got work tomorrow. It's a Valentine's Day, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it on that note. Thanks, Stefan, for coming on. Always appreciated. Where can we find you next? What's going on? Nothing. Okay, cool.
Oh wait, sorry.
You were
speaking.
Yeah, where we can find you?
I need to start a YouTube channel. I keep saying, I've been saying to Ash for months that I will start one. I still haven't. So yeah, I don't have any sort of social media presence. So I need
to be fair, it's easy, but we'll call you out. If that's what you want to do, we'll call you out on it. So like, where's your channel? Is it going to be this season or is it going to be next season? Well, anyway, we'll get into the details afterwards. Yes, Toon Tactics TV. Big yourself up. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate you. Where can we find you next? What have you got coming up?
Yeah, first of all, really thank you for inviting me on. It's a real privilege to be on. I didn't get to say it at the beginning, so real privilege to be on here. You guys can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and X. Just type in Toon Tactics TV. Getting always kind of all stuff on Newcastle United reviews and previews, but I have got a number of projects that I've done recently, actually. For instance, reviewing the transfer windows of our top 7 clubs, including Newcastle, and with all your some of your favorite content creators that were on there as well. We had obviously Harry Scar featuring as well, did a fantastic job. So yeah, do hop on the channel, share your comments, let me know if I said anything crazy today, and I'll definitely respond.
Nice one, man. I want to say a big thank you to the people in the comments. You're here to make the show what it is, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And people at home watching on the TV screens, if you can jump on your mobile devices and please do like, share, and even put on a notification just so you have a reminder of when the show is coming on each and every week, so I can help bring out guests such as Stefan and Toon Tactics TV as well, man. But again, love people, be kind to each other, and as always, man, come on, you Spurs.
See you guys.